What's goody, Shell? Trying to the most woke, no joke, and I'm back at again with a brand new video and won't bluff. This might be an unpopular opinion, but I think they got it right. I think the NFL and the owners actually got something right. It wasn't beforehand. It wasn't like something they caught beforehand. It's another reactionary kind of thing. But at least this time, I think that I actually agree with them. Now, throw this tweet. This was unanimously adopted by the teams. Roger Goodell said, "We want people to stand. We do believe that the moment is important to focus on." Also, he added he wanted to give players options. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about by now, I'm talking about the newly instated NFL Anthem policy, which states, I'll throw it up right here for you guys. This is another tweet from Ian Rappaport. There's a policy statement. It has 6 things in it. It says all team and league personnel in the field shall stand and show respect for the anthem. Game operations manual will now be revised to remove a requirement that all players be on the field for the anthem. Personnel who choose not to stand may stay in the locker room or in a similar location off the field till the anthem is performed. A club will be fined if personnel are on the field and do not stand and respect the anthem. Each club can develop its own work rules, you know, consistent with all the other things that are above, to show how they're going to handle those things. And the commissioner will impose appropriate discipline on league personnel who do not stand and show respect to the flag and the anthem. Now, at first glance, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, that's kind of weird. Like, why are they doing it like this? Why are you mandating that people can't protest anymore? They're just taking away our freedom now. But if you actually think about this and zoom out from just the mindset of we should be able to protest if we want to, man, freedom of speech. The real issue here isn't about being able to protest or not. The issue here is being forced to stand for the anthem when the NFL honestly does not care about the anthem or about really honoring the military. Because if you'll remember, way back, not even way back, it wasn't even too long ago when players weren't even on the field. Players weren't even on the field for the national anthem. The NFL didn't care at all about players being on the field for the national anthem until the military started paying them millions of dollars to show and fund all these military appreciation type things. That's all the NFL really cares about. It's the bottom line. They don't care about the players protesting or whatever. The NFL owners would not care in the least about these players taking a knee if the rest of America didn't have a problem with it. If conservatives didn't have a problem with, I don't want to get too political, but with the players kneeling, then the owners wouldn't care either. It's about their bottom line and about supposedly people are stopping watching the NFL because of something that happens before the kickoff. Most people don't even watch that. I've been watching the NFL die hard for a year, over a decade now. I mean, well over a decade now. And I never even care or noticed what people were doing during the national anthem. In fact, I didn't even care that there's a national anthem and there was a commercial right afterwards. So I wasn't even caring about it until kickoff. Most people don't care about football until kickoff. It's mainly because people are going to streaming services. People just aren't watching TV as much anymore. And people just don't, I mean, people have other things to do. There's so much other things to do than watch football on TV, which could be reasons why why ratings gone down. But that's not the big issue here. The big issue, like I said, is that the NFL only cares about its bottom line. They do not care about the military appreciation. Because if they did, it wouldn't have taken the military giving them millions of dollars before them to even drag the players out there to honor the flag and the anthem. And if you'll remember, all this wasn't even about a protest to begin with. Colin Kaepernick made a personal, singular decision. He didn't go out looking for the media. Media asked him a question. He answered it truthfully. And it was an actual member, or I think it was a retiree of the military who said, hey, rather than sit down, why not just take a knee so you can show honor to the people who served? And he took the advice of someone who was actually in the military and took a knee, and the media went crazy, switched it up. And it's all more about perception than it was actually what was actually going on in the true message. And this might sound kind of weird, but this isn't coming from like some random dude on the internet. You're like, okay, this kid obviously has his own thoughts about it, so like, why should I even, I mean, you have your closed-minded thoughts. You're talking to someone who both my parents were in the Marines. My dad retired after 25 years. I grew up Bro, I grew up in a military town on the coast where literally there's like 5 bases, but there's 3 bases here. There's an Air Force and 2 Marine bases that are within a 20-minute drive of each other. And when I say that this is a town that would literally be nothing without the military bases here, I spend my whole life around Marines and people in the Air Force. I promise you. I have a little bit more, not more, but I have I think a pretty unique perspective on the situation with having multiple family members who are in the military, immediate and extended, and growing up in a place surrounded by our armed servicemen, and seeing both the positive and the negative sides of what happens when you're in the military, and some things when you deal with being around young Marines sometimes. I'm not gonna front. I respect the military, everything they do for us, but it's a whole different experience from someone who only has like one family member, or they know a person who's in the military, or just appreciates the military on its face and never really had to experience any kind of lifestyle that actually personally affected them because of the military at all. I won't get into all that, and I feel like if someone's actually in the military, they probably know what town I'm talking about, since I live in North Carolina, and they might, if you're in the military or we're in the military, you might have some idea of what I'm talking about, where I'm going with this. But honestly, man, giving players a choice whether or not to be on the field is perfect. I mean, now the people who have problems kneeling, they're satisfied. The people who don't want to be on the field, they're satisfied. And I think you found basically the perfect solution to satisfy both sides. But what I would suggest is, rather than try to punish people and like make all these like exclusionary type of rules here, because this isn't inclusionary, this is exclusionary. What I would say is, how about the owners and the NFLPA get together and try to find ways to combat these issues? Like, these aren't issues that can't be dealt with, that can't be at least talked about. So I feel like social issues, I mean, owners don't care because it doesn't affect them, but I feel like these are issues that NFL players wouldn't even kneel about in the first place if they were heard out by the owners and whatnot, and we got some sort of promotion or some sort of programs in effect, and there was some kind of support from the NFL and the players to show that, hey, we're trying to work together here and try to make some kind of progress socially. But man, let me know what y'all think, bro. I'll have the policy up in the links in the comments below, or in the description below. You can let me know in the comments below how you feel, or my Twitter @Shalotron, same the channel name, man. You already know to do that like button. I got a button right here for subscribe, button right here for to watch more videos. Namaste. Back sooner than you think.